The Biden administration's incompetent from top to bottom, many would say. You've heard me say it here this week, week after week. I'm saying it again tonight because that embarrassing incompetence was on full display this week especially. Watch.
Can you please define for me, what is a woman?
Our focus at the department is to provide equal access to students.
What does HHS say the definition of a woman is?
I lead the Department of Education, and my job is to make sure that all students have access to public education.
Would you define an assault weapon for me?
I honestly, I do think if Congress wishes to take that up, I think Congress would have to do the work, but we would be there to provide technical assistance. Unlike you, I'm not a firearms expert to the same extent as you may be, but we have people at ATF who can talk about velocity of firearms.
We've got a crisis when it comes to roadway fatalities in America. Black and brown Americans, tribal citizens, and rural residents much more likely to lose their lives.
Right. Minorities getting in car accidents. That's the issue. We also had a lawmaker come out and say we need female crash dummies.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think that's funny.
I haven't introduced my panel yet. They shouldn't be talking. Are you surprised mediocre Mayor Pete continues to underperform with his rest of his cabinet secretaries and some of the nominees? If this was what we're stuck with, we are doomed for the next 2 years. Maybe even 4. Joining us now, Judge Janine Pirro and Geraldo Rivera, great friends and great people. They both have full-time jobs, but they're here part-time. Judge, the head of the ATF comes out. I'm not really into firearms. I thought, I have people at the ATF that do know about guns.
But he says even more than that. He says, but I did vote to make sure that for the assault weapons ban, even though I didn't know at the time that I voted against it, I didn't know what it was. But this is classic liberalism. And by the way, somebody made a great comment. Look, if you don't know about, if you're going to run ATF, you don't know about weapons. Do you know about alcohol and tobacco? I mean, that may be his expertise. Who knows? But this is all about liberalism. And that is, it's all about a philosophy that they have. Roads are racist. I don't know anything about guns, but I want to be the head of the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. And then the other thing is what was the first? Oh, I don't know what a woman is. Supreme Court Justice said she didn't know what a woman was. These are people who just follow the liberal line. They don't care about the facts. They just want you to buy into what they say.
Geraldo, you actually moved further back since I introduced you. What's going on? What do you think about? I mean, that's just happened this week.
I feel so far away. Far away from my prom date.
Yeah, that's me, I guess.
A couple of quick things. I think that Buttigieg has really failed in terms of his performance on the job. He had great promise, great potential, very attractive initially. He seems to have lost his way. For example, it is true that black drivers die 73% more often than white people, on a per capita basis in car crashes. Something is going on. I don't know what it is. Black people, the pedestrians, are dying at a disproportionate rate also. I don't know why that is. But I mean, it definitely deserves people's attention. The carnage on the streets is not appropriate.
Keep the trains on his tracks. How about that?
Yeah,
Get the planes to fly.
Now and then, show up in Palestine.
I have to quickly say something about guns. I may not know what the AR stands for, but I know what it does because I've seen people die from it. So I endorse the assault weapons ban, but I wish they could express themselves much more articulately, much more effectively.
You should know what they are before you try for the job.
Yeah,